Welcome to our presentation of The Farewell, a 2019 movie directed by Lulu Wang. This film is based on Wang's own experiences and explores the complexities of intercultural communication. The Farewell dives into the ethical and emotional challenges faced by a Chinese American family. Having been accustomed to American culture, they navigate conflicting ideals and traditions of their Chinese heritage and American upbringing. The movie offers a realistic representation of what immigrants experience and the difficulties intercultural communication within a family with different cultural backgrounds. It blends humor and heartbreak to convey a powerful narrative about the immigrant experience and the conflict between East and West cultures. The Farewell tells us how cultural differences affect relationships, communication, and personal identity. It provides a glimpse into the protagonist's personal challenges, portraying a family navigating the complexities of two different cultures.
So now I'll be summarizing the film. So the main plot of the story starts when Billy found out that her parents are keeping something back behind from her. And then under questioning, her father finally tells her that her Nai, which is her grandmother, had diagnosed stage 4 lung cancer. They are going back to China to visit her by creating a fake wedding of her cousin, Hao Hao, and his girlfriend, Aiko. So that it won't be that obvious for so many family members to attend or to gather at her Nai's house. So Billy wants to go, but her parent doesn't allow that because they're afraid that she cannot control her emotions and she will break the secrets to Nai. But this doesn't stop her. She actually bought the flight tickets by herself to Changshan, China. So Nana is very happy that Billy shows up at her house. Billy's family members have no choice, so they just let Billy to stay so that Nana doesn't suspect anything. After all, it's all about the wedding planning and also the arguments about the differences of culture between America and China. So at the meantime, Billy is still struggling about the idea of not telling the truth to Nai. So she actually questioned her uncle Haibin about this issue. So after the explanation of her uncle, Billy figures it out that this is the culture, the Chinese culture that she needs to accept and follow. So she actually helps her family members to change the Nai's medical report to keep secrets from Nai. So after successfully keeping the secret and spending time with Nai, Billy and her family went back to America. Yeah, so at the end of the movie, there is a footage of the actual Nai, which is the director's Nai. She's still alive after 6 years of her cancer.
So the first scene explanation is when Billy visits her parents. So in this scene, Billy goes to her parents' house and she finds that they're acting strange. And Billy learned from her parents that her Nai has an illness and the family's decision to keep it as a secret, but Billy disagrees with this idea. Billy's father explains that the family believes it's better not to tell Nai, which reflects the collectivist nature of Chinese culture, where decisions are made for the perceived good of the group rather than the individual. This scene relates to the collectivism theory in terms of intercultural communication theory, which suggests that social behavior is influenced by shared goal within a community or family. Billy shows that she has a conflict with the idea of not telling Nai about her illness, and this is due to her American upbringing, therefore highlighting the clash in cultural perspective and differing values and norms instilled by each culture. It is also seen that culture is learned, as people tend to learn and do things from what their environment is doing. In this context, everyone in the Chinese culture does not tell their loved ones when they are diagnosed with terminal illness, showing that culture is learned through the environment and culture is transmitted from one member of the society to another, rather than being genetically transmitted.
So now I'll be explaining the scene. So the scene is like when Billy is having dinner with her family, her mother and her aunt Yuping has an argument. So Yuping says that raising a child, the ultimate goal is that their child can earn a lot of money in the future. And she says that earning money in China is easier than America. Well, Billy's mother doesn't agree with that. She thinks that raising a child is letting her child to do something that she loves is way more important than earning money in the future. And she also thinks that Yu Ping is giving double standards towards Billy and her son as well, because she insisted to send her son Xiaobao to America for college, but she's trying to persuade Billy to come back to China for job opportunities. So she actually refused back to Yu Ping, and they have a lot of arguments and a lot of questioning. So after a few rounds of questioning, Yu Ping turns silent and the conversations end. So what kind of theory that we can apply to this scene is the face negotiations theory. The face doesn't mean this face, but the metaphor of reputations and self-image. This theory explains how individualistic and collectivistic individuals save their own face or other people's face during a conflict. For a very obvious example of collectivistic individuals is the Yu Ping, because she tries to save her sister-in-law's face and also other family members' faces. While Billy's mother doesn't care about other people's face, she's more individualistic. She only cares about her own face, and then she straight away refute back and doesn't refute back when her face is being threatened. So you might be questioning, like, why Billy's mother is a Chinese, but she acts more like an individualistic person. It is because that she immigrated to America and she assimilates to the dominant culture of America. Well, the culture of America that she assimilates to, the way they speak is more direct speech style. So they speak more directly. So therefore, Billy's mother speak more directly and no longer speak Chinese to Billy.
In the third scene where Billy is having a conversation with her uncle, Billy's uncle explains the cultural differences between the West and the East, emphasizing that in Chinese culture an individual's life is seen as part of a whole, and the family carries the emotional burden. This conversation marks a turning point for Billy as she begins to understand and accept her family's decision. This scene aligns with the minority identity development theory, which outlines the stages of cultural identity formation. Billy's journey from initial lack of exploration resistance to understanding and integrating her Chinese heritage reflects the process of developing a minority identity, balancing the values of both cultures. The process shows that Billy lacks exploring the culture as she does not know the values and norms of the culture. Then she tries to accept the values, but soon after rejects the idea of not telling her Nai about her illness, which reflects the Chinese culture, and through the conversation with her uncle, she began to understand and accept her family's decision of not telling her Nai about her illness, which reflects the integration stage.
Okay, so this is the fourth scene explanation of this film review. So after a family dinner, everyone actually back to their own places, and in the hotel corridor, Billy's mom accused Billy's grandma of making Billy's dad drank, so which led to a huge fight between Billy and her mother lah. So Billy actually blamed her mother that even though her grandma was sick, and her mother was kept criticizing her grandma, so Billy's mother angrily asked if she should shout like Billy, and Billy's mother also said that she didn't want to show her own emotions out. So Billy's mother said that actually at her father's funeral in China, Billy's mother didn't cry. But going against the cultural expectations in China, you don't cry means that you're not a filial child, you're not a good child. So this was something Billy's mother could never understand about. Okay, so this is the same argument of that scene. So in their room, Billy's mother actually expressed her inner conflicts and emotions. So showing how her long time in US actually influenced her perspective. So according to the cross-cultural adaptation theory by Yong Yun Kim, people who live abroad for extended periods often transition from a single cultural identity to becoming more blended intercultural identity. So this shift makes traditional cultural norms less relevant, and with personal feeling and common humanity becoming more important. So this change is evident in Billy's mother choosing to not cry in her father's funeral. Okay, so despite the strong expectation in Chinese culture that crying is a mark of respect, so hostage theories actually on individualism and collectivism sheds light on this. So China values community unity and also collective norms, but actually the Western cultures is more emphasized on individualism, personal development, and also self-expression. Okay, so influenced by her experience in the West, this mom prioritizes her feelings over the traditional societal expectations and leading her struggle with the traditional mourning practices that she encounters in China.
In the fifth scene, Nai visits the hospital for a checkup, unaware of her terminal illness. The doctor, speaking with Billy in English, explains the cultural rationale for keeping the illness a secret. The conversation underscores the ethical dilemma and the clash between Billy's American values and her family's Chinese traditions. The scene mentioned above illustrates the concept of acculturation, or a cultural integration, within intercultural communication. This theory examines how individuals adapt to new cultures while maintaining aspects of their own cultural identity. Acculturation involves changes in behaviors, values, and cultural attitudes resulting from the contact between distinct cultures. In this scene, Billy navigates her dual identity as a Chinese American, highlighting the conflict between her American upbringing, which values individualism and direct communication, and her family's Chinese cultural norms of collectivism and high context communication. Billy's American perspective makes her believe that her grandmother, Nai, has the right to know about her terminal illness. However, her family believes that withholding the truth protects Nai's mental state, a common belief in Chinese culture. The conflict between American and Chinese values leads to interpersonal conflict and acculturative stress for Billy as she tries to reconcile her cultural identities. By the end of the movie, Billy's journey depicts the ongoing nature of acculturation, emphasizing that cultural adaptation is a fluid and continuous process. It highlights that acculturation often takes generations to complete.
So for the theory part, the Yukov theory of cultural adaptation delineates 4 stages: honeymoon stage, culture shock, adjustment, and adaptation. In the film of The Farewell, Billy, a Chinese American, undergoes a profound cultural journey when she learns her grandmother Nai is terminally ill. Initially, upon returning into China, Billy experienced the honeymoon phase, which is characterized by excitement and curiosity about her family and cultural roots. She eagerly participated in a fabricated wedding celebration orchestrated to gather the family under the guise of joyous occasion. However, the narrative text are poignant as Billy encounters the culture shock phase. She discovered that her family has deliberately hidden Nai diagnosis from her a practice rooted in Chinese cultural norms of protecting others from distress. This revelation challenged Billy's values of transparency and honesty ingrained during her upbringing in America. She grapples with the clash between these contrasting cultural expectations, leading to a period of confusion and emotional turmoil. As Billy navigates the adjustment phase, she begins to reconcile these cultural differences. She starts to understand her family motivation for keeping the truth from Nai, realizing their actions stem from deep-seated cultural values of filial piety and harmony. Billy participates in the family decision-making process, albeit with inner conflict demonstrating her evolving adaptation to the situation. By the end of the film, Billy reaches the adaptation phase where she integrates elements of both American and Chinese cultures into her identity. She embraced the complexity of her dual heritage, recognizing the importance of family bonds and cultural traditions while maintaining her own principles. Her journey symbolized the intricate process of cultural adaptation, highlighting the challenge and growth that accompany navigating different cultural contexts.
For the review part, The Farewell is an exceptional film that provides a profound exploration of intercultural communication. The movie provides a depiction of the clash and blending between two cultures, particularly between the Chinese culture and the American culture, as seen through the lens of a Chinese American family. This film resonates deeply with viewers, especially those with immigrant backgrounds, as it portrays the intricate and often conflicting dynamics of living between two cultures. This movie can be seen as an invaluable resource for understanding intercultural communication, as it illustrates key theories such as collectivism theory, phase negotiation theory, and the U-curve cultural adaptation and other cultural theories that relates to intercultural communication. The film's depiction of the protagonist's cultural journey provides a realistic representation of the challenges of navigating multiple cultural identities. It serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of respect and understanding in intercultural interactions. The aspect of the movie makes viewers appreciate the complexities of intercultural communication and cultural differences. The movie highlights about adaptability, as well as respect and understanding to other cultures through Billy's interaction with her family. Overall, The Farewell is an excellent movie in showing a real-world example of an immigrant experience. It teaches the viewers about the complexities of intercultural communication.
Okay, so in conclusion, this movie, The Farewell by Lulu Wang, offers a view into an immigrant experience of balancing the cultural values with a new culture. So through Billy's perspective, this film reveals the emotional and also ethical challenges arising from differing the cultural values. So by analyzing these specific scenes can help us to understand intercultural communication more easily and also the adjustment process. So beyond its storyline, this movie storyline, the film serves as an educational resource on intercultural communication and illustrating the significant theories and also offering valuable insights for the viewers.